Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 1997 Continental General Tire Dealer Meeting. The Passenger and Light Truck Division is excited to share its plans for the upcoming year and beyond. A year where together we'll be setting sails for tomorrow. Please welcome the President of Continental General Tire, Bernd Frankenberg.
Buenos días, señoras y señores. Bienvenidos a Puerto Rico, la isla del encanto. Espero sinceramente que pasamos un bien tiempo en nuestra reunión de Continental General. Deseo que nuestra reunión sea un gran éxito profesional y también social. Entonces, que nos disfrutemos juntas. That's for those, the Spanish wake-up call. Good morning, everybody. I hope you enjoyed yesterday's evening as much as I did, which was our informal welcoming party. Today I have the pleasure of officially welcoming all of you to our 97 International Conference. It's a pleasure having you, and I really hope that we will have some enjoyable, professionally as well, privately, socially rewarding days together. And we'll start today with unrolling our plans in the passenger and light truck division. But before doing that, before we start the official presentations, allow me a few minutes to bring you up to date on how our company, the group, as well as Continental General Tire is doing. First of all, regards from our chairman. Believe me, with this time would really love to be with us. I talked to him on Monday because they are freezing in Europe. There is a wave of cold Arctic weather going all over Europe. And obviously he's envious. He would have loved to be with us in this warm subtropical climate here. Obviously, this is the bad side. The good side is they had a tremendous winter business in Europe, selling more than 10 million winter tires. And I need to tell you, these are not cost leaders in Europe. They are really tires which command a super margin. And so the group is doing fine. The official figures after 9 months were really up by net sales 2.6%. That's nothing to rave about. But in terms of profit, they were up 62%. That is, they made in the first 9 months 125 million Deutschmark. And that incorporated already 80 million Deutschmark, which they paid out when they closed the factories. And as I said, the winter was super, so they will have a very good year in 96. How did they do it? The group more or less followed the same steps which we are doing here in the United States. They have been really trimming their plants, getting rid of inefficient plants. They closed Dublin, where they spent the 80 million, which is already absorbed. They moved more than 2 million passenger tires out of Traiskirchen, that is near Vienna, into the Czech Republic. But it's not that they gave up capacity. They have gone into joint ventures in low-cost countries like India, like Pakistan, like Indonesia, and more on the cars in South America, etc. In other words, that's our game is a global game, as all of you know, and you have to be competitive, you have to be cost competitive, you want to stay in the business. Obviously, they have come with a lot of exciting new products and technologies from which we are also benefiting here. So I think that the total group is on a good course. Not only to share that with you because you are entitled to know how the total group is doing, but let me come back now in more detail to Continental General Tire. And I'm really glad to announce that for the first time in 96, our company made a modest profit. It will be about, let's say, 2% of net sales. Every division was profitable except for PLT, our little child of still sorrow we talk about this morning. We still didn't quite make the break even. I'll tell you in a minute why, but overall, Continental General Tire is really on a good track. And as I said, all divisions made profit, and tomorrow Tom will address the commercial divisions, which is strategically a very important division, and their continued success. But let me focus now, before we go into presentations, on a few strategic issues of the passenger and light truck division, because we had continued problems in two areas. One is, as you know, we had a great dependence on one big merchandiser, a price club, which really was basically our major customer, and that business went down much more and more rapidly than we expected, and that caused problems for us in terms of trying to find compensation. And secondly, we still have, while we speak, a problem with one of our plants, with the plant in Mayfield, Kentucky, and they know it, they can talk publicly about it, that their cost structure is not up to the cost structure in all our other plants. Also, we use the same technology, we use the same, we produce the same tires to the same specs. There's no reason for them to be just much more expensive than our other plants. That's a problem which we will address this year. On the bright side, in 96, I think the most exciting thing is the growth in our dealer business. I'd like to thank you for the fact that you really helped us compensating what we lost with that big price club. And if it wasn't for the dealers and your continued business and your growth, things would have been much grimmer. And said as well is the fact that in OE, we're making still in the third year, not only progress in terms of market share, but also in terms of mix. We're getting on the upscale cars, and you'll hear more about all that later in the program. I don't want to steal too much the show of my colleagues. So what does it take in 97 for us? What do we need to do? And it's very simple. We have also the PLT division, which is obviously strategically a very important division for our company. We have to become profitable. You want us to be profitable, and obviously this is the name of the game. And how do we want to do that? With two simple measures. I addressed them already. A, we will have to grow our business. In the past, we are just able to hang in through your continued support and growth, and through the OE business we picked up that was just about to compensate what we lost. But we have to grow. We have to grow our business with you, existing customers, and with new customers, which we will soliciting business with. So growth is number one, and we will continue, there's no question, with our cost management, be it product cost, be it design cost, be it fixed cost, be it quality cost, you name it. I don't want to bore you. I think we've done an excellent job in that respect over the last years, and no question, we'll continue that drive, and I think we have experience in that field. But we have done something else, which sounds a little bit like a buzzword, but you will feel the effects of that hopefully this year. We have changed our organization from the 1st of 1st into two business units in the PLT, an OE business unit and a replacement business unit. The reason for that is not only to get smaller units where you have even more accountability and you're closer to the specifics of the business. No, it's more than that. It's, which we'll address later in a little bit more detail, the change from a functional organization to a more process-oriented organization. What do I mean by that? Rather than concentrating on functional goals, let me give you an example. Rather than concentrating on manufacturing, that manufacturing has, and I'm not picking on Jim here, has beautiful performances in terms of productivity, in terms of attendance and efficiency, and you name it, and quality records. And they're heroes. And they produce the tires because if you want to be efficient, you have to have full steam ahead. And we have a warehouse full of tires, but unfortunately not the right tires which we could sell. So I use this as an example. In future, we have to make sure that we look not at the functional goals, but at the overall bottom line goal. That's how we will measure ourselves, and that's why we say process-oriented, to make sure that we produce what we can sell and what the customers have ordered. That doesn't mean that we will give up on the functional goals of manufacturing to be efficient and safe and all these good things, and quality-wise be correct. But we have to look at the bottom line, like you, most of you do in your business anyway. I mean, you're all entrepreneurs. You look at the bottom line and you make really decisions which look at the total business and what does it to the P&L, and not what pleases some logistical or manufacturing or financial or, as a matter of fact, sales guy who just may want only volume but without looking what the profitability is. You know that, but this is a dramatic change. We'll address later on, more of this, what that means, particularly also to you, where we obviously want to grow your business with you, but we need to earn it. We need to give you the service to get that business, and that's easier said than done. Okay, So if we want to expand the business, as I said, service is a key area we address later on, and we need to obviously have different programs which we'll continue doing. We will have an associate dealer program which we'll address in a minute in detail what we will do there. We will continue with our micro-marketing approach, which I think has been very successful last year. We'll come with new products, expanding existing lines, details of which we will all enroll this morning. So I think we have some very exciting dealer programs and marketing programs which I hope you will be finding very suitable to suit your needs, because they are geared to boost your business and our business, to get into that win-win situation. Also, we'll share with you this morning what we want to do in OE. It's still a good pre-investment for the replacement business. Our goal there, in a nutshell, as I said, is further market share growth, but more than that, we want to get on upscale cars, because there the fidelity factor is much higher. A guy who buys a Cadillac is more inclined to take the same tires he had original equipment on because he had a good experience than a guy who has an economy type of car who is just more price conscientious. So, ladies and gentlemen, I want to cut it short this morning because we have lined up our team here to go into details through all programs. I feel very confident that 97 will be a stellar year for you and for us. Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Jim Rippey.
Good morning. It's a real genuine pleasure to be here with you in Puerto Rico and to add my 2 cents worth to what has become this year's underlying theme. A theme of work not in progress, but in process. A process that's spread to every corner of the organization. A process that's multi-leveled and multifaceted with one very important goal: improve customer service. Now, I'm sure these words aren't new to the people I see before me. What is new is the momentum we've been gathering at Continental General Tire to make sure that these words mean something. And my mission here today is to tell you what those words mean in 2 key areas: the overall manufacturing process, how we've improved, and the goals we've defined for the coming year, and our original equipment strategies. We'll start by looking at the total order cycle time for the passenger light truck manufacturing. That's the period of time from order entry to customer delivery. Total order cycle time is an area that has recently come under close examination in Continental General Tire. Our quest for better processes, and that's as it should be, for without the power to improve our ability to get from the starting block to the finish line, let's face it, we're just another runner in the race. So we put total order cycle time under the microscope, breaking it down into 3 key areas: order entry, manufacturing, and transportation and delivery. Before I give you the details, I'll give you some good news. The improvements we've implemented have worked. The big picture result is cycle time improvements of 10 to 40% across the board this year. Now for the details. Starting with order entry, our quest for improvements begin with assigning the services of an industrial engineer, and this individual spent nearly 2 months identifying how to make improvements in every step of the order entry cycle time. It was a big undertaking involving 125 people in the analysis. How do we do? Well, I'm pleased to say at this point that we've implemented 6 out of 10 of the new processes, and with more to come. I'm confident we can cut our cycle time by a minimum of 30% in 1997. As for dealing with product that isn't in inventory, we begin our analysis looking at a 6 to 31-day turnaround time. Thanks to what we learned, we were able to immediately cut the process time to 18 days maximum. And for our goal for 1997 is to cut that in half again. As for the PLT manufacturing process itself, flexibility was the target that we honed in on. It's a natural target, since the ability to satisfy customer demand is highly dependent upon the ability to switch from product A to product B without missing a beat. The graph you see here shows the number of mold changes per week in our curing rooms. As you can see, for example, in the Charlotte facility, we were able to substantially increase the frequency of our mold changes. The end result? We reduced overall change time with no reduction in our overall output, enabling us to have more SKUs in production for a given time period. And the true result of all that, improved customer service. Moving on, here's a quick look at some of the other improvements we put into place over the past year. Starting with how well we did handling the products that you ordered. Here's a look at our tire building efficiency, which, as you can see, has shown a noticeable improvement over the years. Next graph shows the same positive trend in our curing departments. Here you see how our tire uniformity has translated into improved ride for our customers and less product returns. And with the data presented here on total warranty returns, we see further validation of our drive for quality product and customer satisfaction. Okay, now let's move from the manufacturing side over to the original equipment side. With approximately 1/3 of our business currently on the OE side, we can certainly say that OE is an integral part of Continental General Tire's strategic business plan. It also positions our company to take advantage of aftermarket sales when repurchase time comes. To make sure we keep OE on track, we're working hard on leading-edge technology that will keep us in touch with future trends and requirements. We and our OEM affiliates are working in tandem so that what we design, create, and market will continue to complement the system design. This approach that will result in optimum vehicle performance. And by that, I'm talking about features like ride, handling, noise, vehicle fuel economy, and traction. And those OE improvements, of course, also translate into improved designs for our customers and dealers. How are we doing in achieving that end result? Continental General Tire keeps on getting the kudos from North American OEMs. For example, Ford Q1 and Total Quality Excellence. Out of 1,000 total suppliers, we're one of 20 to receive this prestigious recognition. GM Target for Excellence Award. Nissan Annual Quality Award for the 10th straight year. From across the seas, the European OEMs who are building North American factories are also recognizing us. Major business awards. For example, BMW in Spartanburg, South Carolina. Mercedes-Benz in Vance, Alabama. Another sign of the times is the fact that a growing number of European imports are now being equipped with Continental brand products, thanks to our improved North American service and support. This will be another strong connection to more aftermarket repurchase of our upscale performance tires. How did it all translate into sales? Well, in 1995, Continental General Tire realized over 20% growth in the North American OE market. That's our second year in a row for significant growth. Together, 1994, 95, and 96 were all record years. In fact, they represent the 3 largest OEM sales years in the history of this company. Now, what's in store for OE for 1997? We anticipate our first approval for Continental domestically produced products at OEMs this year. In terms of where we stand now, we're the sole supplier to the Ford Taurus Sable, the best-selling car in the U.S. We're a supplier to the Ford F-Series pickup, most popular selling U.S. vehicle. We're a supplier to the first Ford-Nissan joint venture, Villager Quest vans. Supplier to Ford's first world car, the Contour Mystique. Supplier to GM's full-size pickup, the CK truck. Supplier to GM's new minivan, Chevrolet Pontiac Oldsmobile. 100% supplier for the Buick LeSabre. Supplier to the Toyota Camry Avalon vehicles. Supplier to the Nissan Sentra Altima. Supplier to BMW Export and South Carolina Continental brand. We'll be the major supplier to Mercedes-Benz multi-purpose vehicle produced in Vance, Alabama. Supplier of puncture sealant tires. And just last night, I received word from our Detroit office that we will be on the new prestigious Lincoln vehicle that will be replacing the Mark 8. Obviously, we're experiencing some strong success in the OE arenas. And how that success translates for you, our dealers, can be summed up in 2 key areas: improved image on our part and enhanced replacement sales opportunities on your part. We're looking forward to making our part work and to another great successful year of partnership as we set sails for tomorrow. Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, Please welcome Chris Dixon.
Watch you, me old cock sparrows. That's Cockney, wake up for good morning. My Spanish isn't as good as Burns. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It's really good to have so many of our great customers with us here in Puerto Rico. You are the bedrock of Continental General Tire in the United States, in Canada, and internationally. And so, in the tradition of Joe McCarthy, I would like to open my part of this morning's presentation by thanking you for your business in 1996, and I hope in the coming years. And we have great plans for 1997, and great plans for all of you, our dealers, working as you do in a highly competitive and increasingly complex market environment. And that's the case wherever it is that you conduct your business in the world. In 1996 too, we also had some great plans to change things. And guess what? Some of them took flight. The Grabber ST, Continental CH95, a major shift in our retail warranties. Some stalled on takeoff. We just cannot get to grips with in-field adjustments, for example. And a few never even made it out of the hangar. But like the tax return, they're coming. Change has always been an inevitable part of life, and in modern life, it just comes quicker and more often. And to live with it and make it work, we need the right people to handle these evolving situations. So to help us get these birds into the air and to make sure that they're not all turkeys, we've taken on board some new and caliber help. Tom Bruning has taken the brave step of volunteering to make the switch from logistics and purchasing into sales. More correctly, I should say, back into sales. Tom's background and disciplines will bring that commitment to customer service without which suppliers can survive in the modern market. Tom will address how we're going to organize ourselves to better serve your future needs a little later this morning. Dennis DeLeonard, or D3 as he's now known, will speak presently to the new programs we shall bring to you in the coming year. Many of you know him for his work in both the manufacturing and dealer side of the US tire business. Welcome, Dennis. Through his career at Dayton, TBC, and American Car Care Centers, Dennis has been involved at the grassroots with the US independent dealer. And with that brings to us the ability to listen intelligently to your needs. And more importantly, he has the authority to respond quickly and with impact to those needs. Dennis will head up our marketing initiative, concentrating not only on the programs critical to acquisition of new business, but also on the building of support programs for our existing base. Dennis understands the role of margin. He's aboard to help us both achieve it. Working with Dennis will be Gary Schlachter, an ex-Michelin man with a wealth of experience in the independent dealer arena. Latterly, working with the Master Alliance program and with an independent business in the Midwest. Gary will work both directly with you, the dealer, and in support of your local sales team to help achieve maximum impact with our programs, both new and old. We also feel the need to boost our support teams, particularly in the planning area. John Ziola has joined us from Yokohama, where his sales experience will provide a practical backdrop to his role in this arena. Until the early 90s, John worked on PLT product development for Mast. His responsibilities for us will include the establishment of databases and planning tools which will allow us to more speedily react to the changing markets both at home and abroad. And we should not forget the export side of our business. And as our international friends know, we've taken recent steps to strengthen the operational side of the group with the promotion of Tony Zala from our credit area to head up the inside sales organization. Our search for caliber personnel will not cease. we have to continue to move from the corporate culture which was Continental General Tyre, functionally driven and inwardly focused, to a process-orientated operation where the customer and service are the only focus. And to achieve this, we need the right people, and we feel that we've made a good start with the gentleman appearing on the screen today, but it won't end there. And the marketplace that we have to live in will make the future even more exciting, and I'm sure no less daunting than it is now. For 2 years, I've emphasized the changing needs of the consumer, and nothing we see mitigates our feelings that the winners in the future will be those manufacturers and dealers who are best able to cater to these changing needs. So don't let's worry here about gross national product, inflation, or Federal Reserves. They really only affect your portfolio. And bluntly, no one's going to honestly forecast that they will dramatically change, even if they think they will. So let's instead concentrate here on those things which will immediately affect our businesses. The average real hourly wage in the United States has fallen from $11.50 in 1990 to $8.75 today, indicating the huge increase in low-paid service industry jobs. And as a result, to maintain quality of life, many people now have to rely on 2 or 3 wage earners in the home, and many people have more than one job. At the same time, we have consumer debt, primarily credit card debt, at the highest level ever and continuing to climb. Therefore, as with all industrial countries, the rich remain comfortable and the less blessed are proliferating. As long as inflation remains low and employment is available, at least they are not working harder to get poorer. However, any upsurge in real inflation might well lead to real hardship. So whilst we all want more from consumer price, we must be realistic to our customers' position. Availability of disposable income will pressure pricing for the foreseeable future, and we all have to learn how to live with this. We have also seen the basic stock of our existence, the automobile, become less affordable to the consumer in the United States. In 1990, the average car cost the consumer 25 weeks earned pay. Today, it costs 35 weeks earned pay. Therefore, with less cash about and a higher capital investment in the vehicle, which, let's be clear, is a necessity, not a luxury, it's logical that the consumer will have even less inclination to invest in after-sales automotive goods and services. Our sticker shock will not lessen, which further reinforces that our margin will not be majorly improved in the medium-term future through price. And I believe any industry-led price increase will also remain extremely unlikely whilst the grand jury subpoena hangs over any industry still suffering structural excess capacity. Nevertheless, as the vehicle park continues to increase at around 4% per annum on the back of increased average car life, that's moved from 6.6 years in 1990 to 8.3 years in 1996. And with now over 70% of the vehicles in use being over 5 years in age, plus a driving population which is currently growing at around 2.5 million people per year, the demand for automotive goods and services is unlikely to contract. The needs and the habits of the consumer are therefore being changed by economic and social circumstances. And we believe it's important for all of us to take a step back and reassess the way we do business to be the winners in answering those needs. We at Continental General will be glad to discuss with any of you who are interested in what we believe, as a result of a major consumer research program presently being undertaken, what we believe those needs are. And I hasten to add, our interest in doing this will extend beyond our few days together here in Puerto Rico. It's our aim as a responsible supplier to partner with our business partners in sharing information and analysis such as this. All tires continue to get better. Average tyre life in the halcyon 1970s was 15,000 miles. Pretty much stayed that way until the 1980s, when the impact of radialisation boosted it to around the 40,000 miles it is today. However, an increasing trend to performance tyre characteristics and the liberalisation of speed limits will, we believe, see a reverse in this figure over the next 5 years, perhaps trending down to a level of 35 to 37,500 miles of life. Coupled to this, we also have seen in the United States an increase in the average annual miles driven by the consumer from around 10,000 5 years ago to 12,000 now, on the back of increased commuting distance to work and to the shops. And we see no indication that this trend will change over the next few years. More people are going to drive further as the demand for job mobility grows. Therefore, improved tyre life has been offset by higher average mileage, but not enough to keep up with the improving quality of the product, and therefore to prevent a deterioration in the annual tyre replacement factor, which actually reflects the number of tyres replaced per registered vehicle per annum, from 1.04 in 1990 to around 1 today. Our belief, however, is that we may see the replacement factor start to reverse as the increase in speed limits, increasing volume car performance characteristics, and little improvement being seen or contemplated to highway surfaces brings about a falling tyre life, and with it, a logical increase in tyre demand. So, perhaps at last, some good news. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, I think good news. We are forecasting that we shall see a surge in passenger and light truck tyre demand in the next 4 years from around 197 million units today to perhaps 217 million units by the end of this decade, fueled by the reasons already outlined. In the area of light truck tyres, growth will plateau after a decade of demand boom. It will, however, remain a strong market sector, but the real expansion in the area of sport utility and 4x4 tyres will come out of the P-metric sizes, which in fact are hidden in the passenger growth figures. If we define private brand as that which is owned by a third party and manufactured by someone else, we suspect we may have seen the pinnacle of this activity in the United States. Whilst it will remain a major part of the market, the real growth will come from both branded and manufacturer-owned associate brands as the makers continue to use their exploding manufacturing flexibility and distribution technologies to get directly to the retailer and therefore closer to the consumer. And within these figures, we are predicting that the performance tyre growth will be steady rather than dramatic, and of course there will certainly be some interesting developments in terms of line positioning. I will discuss in a second the channels of distribution, but the manufacturer's dream of fitting a warm tyre from the curing room to the consumer's wheel, thereby negating the costs in between, is becoming more realizable today than ever before. As a result, margin improvement from a manufacturing point of view will come, indeed has come, from improved manufacturing costs, but also from the ability to shorten the distribution to the point of fitment. And perhaps herein lies the real changes occurring within our industry. Not the demand for tyres, which we believe has to remain strong. Rather, how will the manufacturers go to market, and who will win in that battle to service the replacement market? We believe that from a distribution standpoint, there will be 3 major winners in the future. The independent retailer will associate for strength to compete with the mass retailers and automotive specialists. Association is not new, as witnessed by the private brand programs so successful for many years. But it has to move to a new level of sophistication and commitment, as exemplified perhaps by the Bridgestone Firestone affiliate dealer program and the spirit, if not necessarily the practice, of the Master Alliance program. Association will increasingly be between the manufacturer, their appointed agents, and the retailer, as the financial resources and strength required to support such programs with continuity, consistency, and creativity reside with the makers in a price-ravaged environment. The strength of the independent is in their commitment to the local economy and in their ability to personalize service. No other channel can compete with this, but to nurture it does require a different form of independence. The mass retailers and automotive specialists will continue to grow in power as they offer the consumer price, promotion, service, choice, and credit. In a market with limited cash, their financial strength allows them to locate their services in growth areas and to exit stagnated and depressed areas where representation is a cash drain. They are powerful. They can create vast additional credit lines, and thus they represent large volume, and they would be ignored by the manufacturers at great risk. And as such, they will not be ignored. As mainstream competition, they will grow stronger. Vehicle affordability continues to tax the original manufacturer's thoughts in terms of dealer profitability. The shift in ownership emphasis from loan financing to leasing allows great opportunities for them to capture after-sales service for their dealers by purely including it in or as an incentive within the lease. And it seems to us unlikely that they will let this opportunity slip by. Therefore, we must expect to see growing interest and investment in this area by the OEMs on behalf of their distribution. The success of such initiatives, of course, will reside in how able the dealers are to accept the opportunity. The problems for other channels are self-evident, and unless they are able to adapt to the consumer's needs, they won't change their situation. Company-owned stores are political and financial footballs. Warehouse clubs have their own problems. Gas stations are grocery stores with pumps. I'm not saying that they cannot or will not change, but the growth aspirations of the major independent groups, the mass retailers, and the major independent retailers, not to mention vehicle distributors, cannot be solely on the back of an expanding market. It will be at the expense of other weaker and less informed channels, and which requires, I think, from us a word about the independent wholesaler. For Continental General Tyre, in our tradition of downstreams over many years, one of our prime channels of distribution. The ability to be efficient in production brings cost savings and flexibility in the plant, certainly, but it also improves yield to a level where downstreams become a thing of the past. We are rapidly reaching that point. When efficiency and flexibility are coupled to modern distribution technology, direct access to the retailer on a just-in-time basis becomes a reality. Gradually, the need for wholesale distribution is shifting from that of a conduit for mass production to the need to be much more of a strategic partner in market coverage for flexible production. And we want to build on this. With many of the traditional ma and pa businesses hauling in their tyre purchases where they can't compete effectively with the larger entities in the market, in favour, of course, of increased service and bottom-end work, and with the local and regional retailer under direct manufacturer solicitation, we need to be able to provide our friends of many years with programs that assist them and us in the transition to a different type of business. And this we intend to do because we believe, despite the problems that will arise in their traditional markets, the need for programmed and service distribution will remain a key factor in this and every other market in the world. Our commitment to all independent sectors of the market remains undiminished. And here you can see why. Over the last 3 years, our success in this area has largely contributed to the survival of our division. In the period 1994 through 1996, our total sales to the independent sector of the marketplace have increased by 4.5 million units, offsetting the loss of volume we've experienced at Sam's Club. We committed to this path, and we thank you for your support that you provided to us over the last couple of years. And we appreciate that we need to build on this foundation of profitable trust, and that really is what the rest of today's presentation and much of our activity in the next few years will attempt to achieve. And incidentally, the growth shown here in our business through vehicle distributors and others reflects the successful sale of original equipment Continental tyres to OE dealers such as Porsche, Mercedes, BMW, Volkswagen, Audi, plus mail order success through Tyre Rack and Discount Tyre. We have not at this stage offset our loss within the mass retailer channel, and it makes sense for us to target to do this, as this sector of the marketplace represents, along with the independents, the real growth potential. The need to achieve this by differentiation in product is naturally well known to us, given our history over the last decade, and it is our real intention to achieve growth in this sector without an unduly negative impact on the independent sector. However, we can only provide the independent dealer with profitable programs if we keep our factories operating at full capacity. And at the same time, we appreciate that profitability only has relevance if you have some form of distance against the activities of other channels. We understand we tread the line between the devil and the hard place, but we believe it can be done. And the question always is, how will it be done? Will it be done by the use of brand, associate brand, or private brand? Not having our own equity, nor a major communication budget along the lines of our major competition, we are at a disadvantage to the other OE suppliers in terms of aftermarket service, and this has to be rectified. And you can see here that we've been significantly successful in changing the emphasis of our business away from one dominating customer to a wider support from the independent base. And this has been very much in line with our plans. The one-for-one swap was not our real objective, however. We rather hoped to build on the original base. As Forrest Gump said, it happens. Nevertheless, we need the dealer base to support OE, and this must continue to be our prime objective in future growth. And indeed, our involvement with the Tyre Alliance Group underlines both our commitment to this doctrine and to the independent sector of the marketplace. How we develop with the mass retailers will depend very much on how well we can encourage the independent sector to support our OE position. As everybody is well aware, strategically, this is a global strategic area for Continental Group. At the present time, we plan to grow the independent sector using the brands as the primary source of expansion, and our programs are heavily directed to achieve this. Mass retail presently revolves around private brand and maybe some associate brands, and if that makes sense for them, it will make sense for us. We have to grow. We believe we have the approach to achieve this without detrimental effect on our existing support. We shall, however, continue to keep you fully informed of what is happening. When I came to the United States in January 1994, I didn't know too much about the market or about any of the customers in the marketplace. But I did know we could not exist in the replacement market on Sam's Club and downstream sales alone. In the last 3 years, with your help, we've made many changes, and we will continue to expand our change from a traditional top-heavy corporate mass producer to a customer-orientated, flexible supplier, supporting those channels of distribution which allow us the best opportunities in providing customer profit, volume sales, and support to our global strategies. In passenger and light truck, we've been in most ways a leverage company, snapping at the heels of competition, price aggressive, hopefully practical, and working flat out to reverse a negative quality image. And in this way, thanks to all of you, we've had some success. During 1996, we know we've subjected our dealer base to perhaps a negative service experience. And for this, we apologize. It wasn't our intention to place your profit at risk, to waste the time of your staff and yourselves, nor to frustrate your marketing plans or your customers. It has been a learning experience in changing the way we have to work to service the market, to provide just-in-time stock, act on a global basis, and tear down the old paradigms of operation between functions, sales, logistics, production, and distribution. And we're not there yet. But I'll state now, it's our intention to move on and become, within the next 2 years, a company that leads the industry in quality, service, and systems and programs. All of this for the profit advantage of you, our customers. Leadership is preferable to leverage. If you wish to control your own destiny, it's absolutely necessary. And of course, we have every intention of controlling our destiny. We are developing modern retail lines. Our total product offering will have been replaced by the end of the year 2000. We are moving from functional to process management in all areas at this moment of time. We have achieved factory flexibility to start making what is ordered, not to fund efficiency out of excess and unwanted inventory. We are updating our systems and information flow on a global basis. We are updating our programs and policies for 1997 and beyond. Our plans are laid. The management team of Continental General Tyre has an understanding of and commitment to helping each other achieve them. We're getting the right people on board. We have a growing appreciation of the market and your problems in that marketplace, and we will become so customer-orientated that we're going to knock your eyes out. And that's what the next hour is really all about. We want your business, and we are going to do what it takes to get it, and we're going to do what it takes to keep it. A year ago, an industry executive had a piece of fun in the press forecasting the 10 future things which, in his opinion, would happen in the tyre industry. One of them was that a company just selling downstreams would not survive. Well, John, hang on to your hat. The G-men are coming. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Sonny Litz.
Good morning. The North American tire market is rapidly changing. The emergence of new segments of automobiles, light trucks, and sport utility vehicles has altered the landscape for both the tire manufacturer and the tire dealer. The OE manufacturers are rushing to market, not only with new versions of the old standbys, but are also creating new segments such as entry luxury and luxury sport utility. The traditional pickup is available in the same span of offerings and options as cars. To confuse the issue more, the OEMs are demanding tires that enhance the performance and complement their vehicles. Tires are now being designed for specific models and distinct versions of those models. And of course, each version requires a distinct size. The market has proliferated from 50 tire sizes, accounting for 90% of the market in 1980, to over 135 sizes in 1996. Things are not getting easier for us, they're getting tougher. And the thing that really makes it tough for us is that the consumer, who is dazzled by the selection of vehicles and their apparent lifestyle connotation, still sees tires as a commodity that needs to be replaced all too often. He assumes safety and quality, and he wants a tire that is reasonably priced and will provide a comfortable ride as well as perform under any condition and driving habits. The increase in speed limits in many states has raised new awareness of speed ratings among all driving segments, as well as the traditional sport and performance enthusiast. We know it is a veritable jungle into which you must sell tires. We believe it is our responsibility to help you do just that and do it well. We must provide you with the products that the market requires. We must assure quality and performance. We must give you value so that you can sell value. Our product development process is being driven by the never-ending need for improved quality and performance in the products that will take us both into the 21st century. In 1994, we established our objective to attain ISO 9001 standards because it is the most demanding series of ISO certifications. After 2 years of extensive engineering and thousands of man-hours, we've accomplished our goal. Let's take a closer look.
Confidence. No company just deserves confidence. They earn it. They learn from the past, then look to the future. And when they turn the corner, you know it. Back in 1994, Continental General Tire took a hardline approach to completely restructuring our in-house quality systems. Not just on the manufacturing line, but on the organizational line. A line that links every facility, every employee, to help every store to close every sale. We've forged improvements that have ranged from clearer communications to breaking ground for breakthrough equipment. From behind the scenes to out on the front line. Along the way, we took on the challenge of the world's toughest quality system standard, ISO 9001.
ISO 9000 is a series of quality standards developed by an international standardizing body. There's a series of 3 quality standards. 9003 is the least demanding, and it impacts and only applies to distribution efforts. 9002 covers manufacturing and distribution. And 9001, which is the most demanding, covers the whole business process, going from sales, marketing, design, manufacturing, logistics, and distribution and service.
Tens of thousands of internal man-hours have gone into the ISO 9001 effort. Hours devoted to identifying productivities, eliminating redundancies, measuring, streamlining, improving. The result? ISO 9001 certification for every one of our U.S. facilities. Plants, warehouses, offices. A powerful position that Continental General Tire is the first in the industry to achieve. And already, the signs are positive.
Since we've implemented the integrated quality system under ISO 9001, we've had some very impressive improvement trends. We've had a 35% reduction in in-process inventory, a 70% reduction in the level of scrap and internal waste. We've been able to increase our level of mold changeovers in our plants by 100%, translating into faster delivery times and higher inventory turns.
But certification is also a doorway into the international field, where Continental General Tire was a player long before the word global was ever coined.
Today, there is an increasing trend for countries to establish their own national standards relative to tires and quality systems. The ISO 9001 standard allows us to bridge those requirements around the world. This means to you, as an independent tire dealer, that you'll be able to receive the same quality in your products and services delivered as established in 100 countries around the world.
Turning the corner on progress by focusing on process. Preparing for the future in ways that include reconfiguring our internal communication system. A process that links the daily efforts of multiple departments, from logistics to warehousing, enabling us to draw a more comprehensive picture that every member of our field sales force can now access instantly. Turning the quality corner, re-energizing to pour it on where it really counts. Providing new point-of-sale power in forms like our credit card program and our new multi-dimensional warranty program. A dynamic package that puts road hazard in the front seat, offers a free trial period, stretches out the mileage, and brings us head-to-head with the competition. Focused, responsive, process-oriented, results-driven. Turning the corner. Tuning up our strengths to be a stronger partner for you, our Continental General Tire dealers. 'Cause
we have embarked on two major quality initiatives to provide you with the types of products your customers demand. Our goal is to improve customer satisfaction with improved ride quality and reduced tire returns for adjustment. Our technology and manufacturing people rose to the challenge. We have employed the most advanced technology available, and since 1992, all our products have been developed using this technology. We call it product design modeling. It incorporates finite element analysis, strain energy reduction, and footprint pressure optimization. This technology allows us to develop products that will ride smoother and wear longer. Because of this technology, we have been able to revise tire constructions and compounds of existing products, and the results have been spectacular. We adopted stricter uniformity limits and balance requirements each year for the past 3 years for both passenger and light truck tires. Now I would like to take a few minutes and talk about the future. Our product strategy has several key objectives. All major product programs are targeting the North American market. We have adopted a multi-brand strategy to address the major channels of distribution. We will continue to provide products for the major product segments such as broadline, high performance, light truck, and sport utility. We also have a major initiative to simplify the manufacturing process by incorporating common carcass technology and quick change technology in tire molding. This will allow us to be more flexible in our production operations, which will mean improved response to your needs. We are going to replace all our major product lines by the year 2000. As you are aware, we have already begun that process. The introduction of the Grabber ST line in early 1996 provided us with an excellent offering for the growing sport utility market. The Grabber ST was introduced with 24 SKUs, encompassing all the popular P-metric, LT, and flotation sizes. You'll see it on the new Ford F-150 and the Nissan Pathfinder. In June, we introduced the Continental Touring Contact CH95. This is the first product line jointly developed using both European and American technology. This tire was truly a collaboration between engineers from both sides of the Atlantic. The CH95 is OE on BMW, Audi, and Mercedes-Benz in Europe, and we are now providing BMW with U.S. production. The CH95 provides fitment for the popular European, Asian, and domestic cars. The CH95 is an excellent complement to our already successful XP2000 H4 line that we introduced in 1995. As I speak, we are putting the final touches on our new touring lines that will be introduced later this year in both General and Continental brand. The Ameritour GT and the Continental Touring Contact CT85 will feature all-season tread designs and an 80,000-mile tread wear warranty, and will be available in both white sidewall and black sidewall configurations. Both brands will be available in 28 SKUs. We have done our homework, and both lines will provide you the opportunity to have fitment for those customers that not only want ride and wear, but also performance. The Ameritour GT and the Continental Touring Contact C85 will be naturals for upscale domestic and import fitments. Our next targets are focused on replacing the aging Grabber AP, AT, and MT lines with new cost-effective lines that will complement the Grabber ST. The Grabber series has long been synonymous with performance and value, and we will continue to build on that equity for both of us. The new lines will include more P-metric fitments, as well as continue to support the requirements in LT and flotation applications. We have already begun development on new products to replace our value lines that will incorporate the latest technology to give you the performance and the value in the broadline segments. We are also developing a program with our European partners to expand our size offerings in the XP2000 V4 and Z4 lines to provide you with the sizes you need to be competitive in this growing segments. We will continue to provide the new Z-rated Conti Sport Contact, as well as the popular CH90 and CV90 to round out our high-performance offerings. Our driving force is to provide you with high-quality, cost-effective, high-value products for the future. Continental General Tire is the company that will give you the best bang for your buck and allow you to do the same thing for your customers. I have told you about our quality and our products. However, there's one more ingredient for success, and that ingredient is superior service. We have defined service as giving you what you want, when you want it, and providing you with clear and correct invoices. We've not always been successful at giving you all three things at the same time. As of January 1st, we have established a customer operations process which has physically brought together in one place all the elements of customer service on whom you depend to provide you the kind of service you require to operate your business. Forecasting, production scheduling, inventory control and allocation, product deployment, product services, order entry, warehousing, and traffic, as well as credit and billing, are now physically together. We are literally tearing down the walls of functionality in the organization. Your byline rep will have full access to those people who can make it happen. No more waiting for the decisions to be made that had to go up and down the various functional ladders. We intend to be one-stop service. We don't expect you to leave here believing we found the answer. Let us prove it this year. We want your business to be our business. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Tom Bruning.
Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Thanks to all of you for being here this week. To those of you I've met, it's great to see you again. And to those of you I haven't met, I know we'll have a chance to get better acquainted as the week progresses. As Chris told you, my background of 20-plus years in the tire industry has pretty much cut across the board through technology, logistics, purchasing, and sales. In my return to sales, I bring with me a valuable perspective. A perspective that puts me easily in your shoes, since I've sat on the purchasing side of the table and set pretty high expectations for the suppliers that I've dealt with. What did I as a customer need, expect, and demand? The very same things you do. A high-quality product, good value, and a high level of service. That insight can only be a plus as we move from the corporate culture Chris talked about, functionally driven, inwardly focused, to a process-oriented operation where the customer is the only focus. Since 1994, we've directed our resources and efforts to improving our partnership with you, the independent dealer, who account for 58% of the replacement tire market. We intend to continue building this partnership. To do that, we must base all our actions on three simple words: maximize customer value. To do less is just not acceptable. That sounds good, but what does it mean? It's a hefty order, but certainly doable. Boiled down to the basics, maximize customer value means the best quality, the best technology, the best value, the best service. It's pretty easy to articulate, much tougher to put into practice, but as I said, certainly doable. In my book, in judging by the numbers we see from some independent surveys, Continental General Tire is doing a very good job in those first several categories. We're proud of our quality, value, and product performance. Our product line is solid and an excellent consumer value, with quality right up there at the top. We've introduced new products, we have more upcoming, and we've improved our product warranties. Our products help you make money by providing a high profit margin per unit. But the last best that was mentioned was service. To maximize customer value, that component certainly cannot be ignored. And frankly, we've recently been falling down in the service category, beginning with not being able to get you the tires you need when you need them. I could stand up here and tell you we're going to do a better job with customer service, but that's only rhetoric if I don't take it one step further and tell you how we're going to do a better job. Let me take just a couple minutes of your time to outline some key steps we're taking to turn that idea of customer service and ultimately maximizing customer value into reality. As Sonny already told you, one of our initial moves has been a physical reconfiguration of our Charlotte headquarters. We've now positioned sales, telemarketing, production scheduling, deployment, warehousing, distribution, and transportation physically in the same area under the umbrella of customer service. The result is a far better configuration than having an environment that encouraged the 6 or 7 functional departments to operate rather independently. Believe me, we wish we could just fit that warm tire off the end of a production line onto a consumer's wheel, because everything in between is just added cost. But barring that, our goal with this move is to take all those areas and interlock them so that the bottom line focus is on you, the customer, and that the tires you want are in our warehouse and then at your stores when you want them. As Bernd Frangenberg says, the key to becoming better is to change the way people think, to get away from the old hierarchy and functionality of our thought processes. And although this physical change may seem like a small step, it's moves like these that we're going to be able to build even bigger changes on. Concentrating on the sales side, we've looked at how we're organized and reduced our 4 sales regions down to 2 in order to decrease the amount of middle management layers that stand in the way of decision making and to concentrate the spotlight on you, the customer. What this means is that our decision-making process is being pushed down the line, down to the territory sales executive and our colleagues in sales, down to all levels for that matter. We're challenging our people. In fact, we're requiring them to make decisions, to anticipate customer needs, to directly formulate solutions, and to take steps to rectify situations before they turn into problem areas. It's this attitude, empowerment seems to be the latest buzzword that describes it, that forms the basis for the most significant aspect of our customer focus. With that empowerment comes partnership with you, our customers. To be successful, every member of the sales force is going to be transitioned from simply an account manager to your business partner. A partner that has both the authority and the responsibility to help you make your business successful. A partner that heads off problems versus just reacts to crisis. A partner that has a passion for response. A partner that embraces a run-it-like-you-own-it philosophy. Our goal is for Continental General Tire and you, our customers, to work together to create a win-win situation for both sides. Although cost always remains an issue, clearly the focus of this type of relationship is service and a partnership for mutual benefit. By moving into this partnership realm, what we're doing is inching closer and closer to the creation of a seamless business process. What do I mean when I say seamless? It really boils down to this. On our part, we have to be nothing short of mind readers. On your part, you have to make your minds, so to speak, accessible to us. Your take on not only what's happening in your business this month, but more importantly, where your business is headed next year and the years thereafter. Our people will be equipped with the tools to enable them to provide you, based on your input, a complete store analysis profile to examine price, product, mix, profit margins, so we can help you to get to where you want to go, taking the most profitable route for you and for us. If you're skeptical, that's understandable. Changes like this don't happen overnight. Profitable partnerships are forged with more than a few bumps along the way. That's why, along with the empowerment that brings down the roadblocks to success, we're going to provide our salespeople techniques and training to help minimize those bumps. Training in relationship building, financial management, sales management, and other areas were stepped up in 1996 and will continue into 1997. The changes we're planning certainly aren't minor ones, To make this work, our people can't just show up at your door and make a quick sales call. They are going to be charged with the responsibility of meshing the dealer and Continental General Tire together. They will be transitioning from a territory representative with an uncertain strategy to a business partner totally in tune to where the corporation is going, and by corporation I mean yours and ours. Their personal performance measurements will back up this process too, as internally we move from a current evaluation based on high volume to evaluations based on profit generation. The partnership is a circular system, beginning and ending with you, through planning, execution, and ultimately satisfaction and feedback, a partnership that embodies action, continuity, and focus. A partnership with a shared vision and the flexibility and support to articulate that vision. Together, we can improve our competitiveness, increase our sales, and improve our profits, which is why we all get up and go to work every single day. As I said, the changes aren't small ones and will sometimes only be inching towards them. But there will be plenty of times we'll be leaping towards them too. Who will win the service battle in the tire marketplace? Continental General Tire intends to, by making the most of partnerships with people like you. Thank you for your business and support in 1996 and for your involvement in our mutual future.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Dennis DeLeonard.
It is both an honor and a pleasure to be here, to be with the many people I have worked with over the years, and to be able to get to know and work with the many other power hitters of this great industry. Take a moment, look around the room. More than 70% of the USA tire market is represented in this room. Together, we will set sails for the future and lead this industry into the next millennium. As Chris Dixon mentioned earlier, my role is to listen to you and to work with you in making the very most of our combined strengths. Taking marketing, business development, advertising, and training to a new level with a proactive partnership to build our business together in these competitive times. My role is to help you, our independent tire dealers and distributors, to be more competitive, more profitable, and to connect the strengths of Continental General directly with you. So let's get started right here and now in Puerto Rico. Continental General is a company with tremendous potential just waiting to be unleashed. Its management team is dynamic, yet pragmatic, and has accomplished one of the industry's best-kept secrets of corporate turnarounds in history. The foundation of this turnaround has been built with those of you here today, customer-driven, independent tire dealers and distributors. Since 1994, our dealer business is up more than 22%. Continental General is a global company with world-class manufacturing prowess and production quality, as evidenced by our achieving the international ISO 9001 certification of quality, the only tire manufacturer in North America to have done so. Both sides of the Atlantic strive each day to have their plants outdo each other in quality, production, and value to you, the consumer, and yes, the stockholder. Continental General Tire has quietly built an enviable original equipment stable that will tremendously benefit our partners who promote and sell our tires. Again, Continental General Tire is a global player with many advantages and opportunities that our customers and our employees need to hear about. And I'm here to do that. We will develop programs with you and for you to build both of our businesses. Our goal in 1997 is to take a true partnership approach in building sales and profits for you while growing our dealer base. Let's talk about our 1997 dealer support programs and how we will integrate business development, marketing, advertising, and training to set the sails for a truly outstanding 1997. Chris Dixon said a short time ago that we do not have the level of brand equity nor a major communications budget when compared to the other OE manufacturers. We are rectifying that with our global communications plan. I am very pleased to announce that Continental will be on global television in 1997. In the U.S., we will be airing 12 weeks of Continental General Tire image-building 30-second commercials. The ads will start this spring, kicking off the first of 4 big promotional events. We will be reaching targeted consumers, your customers, throughout the U.S., with millions more being reached simultaneously in Europe and Asia. And you, our business partners, will have the opportunity to participate. Our sales force will be meeting with you soon with all the exciting details. So please, don't miss this great opportunity to build the Continental General name, to increase in-store traffic, and to excite and enthuse your sales associates and your associate dealers. And while we are very excited about being on national TV, global TV, Chris and I look at it from a different view. The world is changing, and efficiency is the answer. Spending incredible amounts of money without a plan is hardly efficient nor effective. Print ads alone in the sports page will not drive our business. Communication is also changing with speed and accuracy and its ability to deliver targeted messages in many different ways. We will lead in this new vital area. Let me ask you this. On the evening of the presidential election, more than 50 million people were doing this, and it wasn't watching TV. What was it that 50+ million people were doing? No, wasn't that. If your mind was in a different area, you said the internet, and you were right. Statistics show that the 2 primary groups of internet users are senior citizens and the young, while middle-aged folks are clearly late in getting involved with the internet. But that too is changing as television manufacturers launch systems that allow internet use through their televisions. The internet is quickly replacing family TV hour. Older folks are using the internet as an economical way to communicate and stimulate and otherwise enrich their retirement years. They still rely heavily on personal contact when making purchases, but increasingly use the internet to gather information to be better informed. The younger audience, your kids and mine, as they grow into consumers, will continue to be heavily influenced by the internet. Continental General has been on the internet now for more than a year and has seen tremendous growth in usage. We see our internet program as a key strength in 1997, becoming a communication bridge to the year 2000 and beyond. Let me show you what a consumer sees when coming on our website. Understand we have 2 separate websites, one for each brand, General and Continental. A third site, Hoosier, will be added this spring. For the purposes of discussion, we're going to look at the General Tire homepage. This is our homepage, the consumer section. As you can see, the site has 4 key areas: corporate information, tire selector, dealer locator, and a promotions area. Look for promotional updates as 1997 kicks into high gear. The corporate information section contains information about General Tire, tips on selecting tires, and links to other brand sites and to the parent company in Hanover. The tire selector is essentially an electronic version of our fitment guide, helping consumers determine which General products fit their vehicles. As some of you are aware, the General Tire site also includes a dealer locator section. Here, consumers can search for a dealer in their area. A consumer simply enters their city, state, or zip code, for example, 50311, and they're presented with a list of dealers in their area. This is very helpful for consumers. But for 1997, we have something even better. Starting immediately, we're offering dealers their own internet homepage a first in the industry. Provide us with a quality photo of your dealership along with some other information, and you can have a location like this, complete with a map, how to get to your location, your hours of operation, and as time goes on, more and more. If you already have a homepage for your company, we can link directly to you. Through 97, we will be growing and expanding our consumer web offerings. But more than simply consumer offerings, for 1997, we will be establishing an intranet site to better serve you, our dealers. Logging onto this private site using a special password, you'll have access to a whole world of business information. For example, you can access our ad planning services, see which ads and spots are scheduled to run in your market, and even review the creative materials online. You can even listen to radio commercials right through your PC.
Hi there!
Huh?
Back here in your rear view.
Well, hey, who are you and what are you doing in my back seat?
Well, I'm a backseat driver. Where else would you expect me to sit?
Oh, great, just what I need.
Well, actually, what you need are some new tires.
Yeah, well,
Oh, slow down there, light's turning.
Oh, sorry.
Okay, now if you want dependable, I'd go for General tires.
Oh, you would?
Oh, yeah, like those General XP 2000s. There's an H4, V4, or Z4, all high-performance tires.
Oh.
You talk about traction.
Oh, really?
Yeah, or the new 60,000-mile Continental CH95. It's quiet, smooth. Easier getting a little close to that car over there.
Thanks for noticing.
Sure, and each one of them comes with a 30-day replacement offer.
Oh, maybe you're right. I should see a Continental General Tire dealer.
Great, then turn here. It's faster.
Turn
you
here?
got your blinker on?
Blinkers
Hand
on.
out the windows
Yeah,
and
hands
back
out
up. Turn down the
please,
radio.
I'll take care of this.
No 2 feet on the brake.
You can also review up-to-date media plans on a market-by-market basis. In addition to reviewing advertising materials, you can also take advantage of electronic ordering of point-of-sale materials. And this is only the beginning of the potential for this new system. So start your day with a cup of coffee and check in with Continental General. All of this is for you as our valued business partner. If anyone has any questions on the internet, we're set up in the back to show you more. Please feel free to stop by after the meeting. But, you know, the intranet is just the beginning, a very important beginning which will connect that factory floor with you. If we are to truly prosper as business partners, then together we must work with intelligence and flexibility. We must maximize our strengths in advertising and promotions with both regional and national campaigns which support our mutual business objectives. Ladies and gentlemen, we bring you Partnership Plus added value. Partnership Plus added value starts with you, starts with the contact with your territory managers. As Tom Bruning stated, the field force is being empowered through account management and gives some very key tools to bring a safecrackers feel in developing business. Their mission is to help you build your business more directly, connecting you with the factory through business development. Over the next few weeks, they will be meeting with you to tell you of our exciting national promotions and jointly plan with you effective and doable strategies for your market. This is what we mean by market support, a key part of which is the next evolution of our key market program. This concept was proven in 1996 with the birth of our key market concept. Simply stated, we can deliver more impact, more store recognition, more buying power, more sales and profits than you can using your advertising co-op with targeted, effective, key marketed advertising. Pretty bold statement. But as last year's program proved, partnering with our support systems can leverage your monies. The point is that working together, we can get our message to the consumer with more impact. These are premium buyers looking for top quality, original equipment tires from top quality retailers. How do we do it? You have every right to ask and to challenge. That's what an effective partnership is about. It comes from using these intelligent sales tools. New for 1997, we offer store site trade analysis, area analysis, using our proprietary system called IMAP. This stands for Individual Market Analysis Profile. IMAP can tell you everything you want and need to know about your store's trading areas. IMAP can define who your customers are, where they shop, what they buy, how far they go to shop, and where they are located. There's no sense spending money on advertising or sales promotion in the wrong area. Say, for example, you want to target luxury car owners. IMAP can identify the specific areas where you can target ad spending more efficiently and more effectively. IMAP can help you locate or relocate stores and help you negotiate leases. IMAP is just the beginning of the expansive computer database information we have developed and will continue to develop to help us run our businesses intelligently. Your territory manager can also assist you with competitive analysis, product line and SKU recommendations to help reduce unnecessary stock keeping units and allow for greater market coverage. Also new for 1997 will be quarterly promotions, regionally timed and tailored with buying opportunities, in-store displays, marketing bulletins, and training. Our sales force will be working closely with you. Promotions include our global ad blitz, the launch of our touring tires, plus performance and light truck promotions for both the flag brands and our private brand customers. Also, to help you promote, we will have new customized radio ads, new TV spots, flexible TV spots to allow you to customize your own TV ads, plus direct mail art, billboard art, and new newspaper ads. In 1997, you will see hard-hitting point of sale with comparative data showing our tires versus the competition. We're proud of our products. You should be too. Why? Because they perform. We want your employees to use this information so they can confidently sell our products. Look for this data by early spring. Sure, you can buy someone else's tires, but you know as well as we do that the consumer, your customer, gets their best value and you make your best profit selling our products. Later this month, at our test site, Uvalde, our first group of dealers, winners of our fall 1996 CH95 training certification test, will undergo some special training, exchange ideas, and have a little fun putting our great tires through the paces. Throughout the year, we will have other contests, plus we will be rolling out our QVP training and certification program to educate, motivate, and recognize the people who sell our product, as well as our new cyber certification program, a unique industry-leading CD-ROM training program. Our proprietary credit card program, the credit card for your customer's car, is also going through some great improvements. It is now available to all direct and approved associate dealers. New for 1997 will be the option of 90 days or 180 days, same as cash. With GE Capital Credit behind the program, the behind-the-scenes paperwork is a snap. In fact, there is hardly any because it's all electronic. Watch your mail for more information on employee incentive and motivation programs to help build your credit card sales. Now, does 1997 stop there? No way. For those of you who are wholesalers and distributors, we will be working with you to develop associate dealer programs. These programs recognize that you, our wholesalers and distributors, have unique needs, and it's important for us to help you make the most of our brands. Our associate program will be tailored by customer to allow customers to retain exclusivity in their market areas. We will be contacting you to discuss these opportunities. With your support, we can create unique and enduring programs as part of the Partnership Plus Added Value program. It will be a two-way street requiring commitment from you, and that makes for the best relationship on both sides. Associate dealer commitments will include annual purchase objectives, mix incentives, original equipment consumer services, and innovative retail support programs. The benefits will vary, but they will allow your dealer to receive many of the same benefits that you now have. such as our Yellow Page program, our credit card program, government and national account business, signage, meetings, training, motivation contests, direct mail, inventory selection assistance, and our internet connection. And judging by some of the initial discussions we've had with some of you, we're on the right track. So let's set our sails for a successful 1997 through Partnership Plus added value and the commitment of our team working with you closely. 1997 will not just be another year, it will be a great year. On behalf of the entire PLT division, I'd like to thank you for your attention this morning. Now let's go out there and make 1997 the best year ever for both of us. Thank you.